a WikiVidi Documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Shoe size. A shoe size is an indication of the fitting size of a shoe for a person. There are a number of different shoe size systems used worldwide. While all of them use a number to indicate the length of the shoe, they differ in exactly what they measure, what unit of measurement they use, and where the size 0 is positioned. Some systems also indicate the shoe width, sometimes also as a number, but in many cases by one or more letters. Some regions use different shoe size systems for different types of shoes. This article sets out several complexities in the definition of shoe sizes. In practice, shoes should be tried on for size and fit before they are purchased. Foot versus shoe and last. The length of a person's foot is commonly defined as the distance between two parallel lines that are perpendicular to the foot and in contact with the most prominent toe and the most prominent part of the heel. Foot length is measured with the subject standing barefoot and the weight of the body equally distributed between both feet. The sizes of the left and right feet are often slightly different. In this case, both feet are measured, and purchasers of mass-produced shoes are advised to purchase a shoe size based on the larger foot, as most retailers do not sell pairs of shoes in non-matching sizes. Each size of shoe is considered suitable for a small interval of foot lengths, typically limited by half point of the shoe size system. A shoe size system can refer to three characteristic lengths. All these measures differ substantially from one another for the same shoe. For example, the inner cavity of a shoe must typically be 15 mm longer than the foot, and the shoe last would be 2 size points larger than the foot, but this varies between different types of shoes and the shoe size system used. The typical range lies between half to for the UK/US size system and for the European size system, but may extend to 1/4 to and. Length. Sizing systems also differ in what units of measurement they use. This also results in different increments between shoe sizes, because usually only full or half sizes are made. The following length units are commonly used today to define shoe size systems. Width. Some systems also include the width of a foot, but do so in a variety of ways. The width for which these sizes are suitable can vary significantly between manufacturers. The AE width indicators used by most American, Canadian, and some British shoe manufacturers are typically based on the width of the foot, and common step sizes are inch. United Kingdom. Shoe size in the United Kingdom, Ireland, India, and South Africa is based on the length of the last used to make the shoes, measured in barleycorn starting from the smallest size deemed practical, which is called size 0. It is not formally standardized. Note that the last is typically longer than the foot heel to toe length by about half to. A child's size 0 is equivalent to 4 inches, and the sizes go up to size. Thus, the calculation for a children's shoe size in the UK is /mbox 12 equivalent to /mbox /approx 10. An adult size 1 is then the next size up, and each size up continues the progression in barleycorns. The calculation for an adult shoe size in the UK is thus /mbox 25 equivalent to /mbox /approx 23 in Australia and New Zealand. The UK system is followed for men and children's footwear. Women's footwear has a slightly different sizing that is unique and in between the UK and US's sizings. In Mexico, shoes are sized either according to the foot length they are intended to fit, in cm, or alternatively to another variation of the barleycorn system, with sizes calculated approximately as /mbox 25.5. United States. In United States, there are different systems that are used concurrently. The size indications are usually similar, but not exactly equivalent, especially with athletic shoes at extreme sizes. The most common is the Customary, described in more detail below, which for men's shoes is one size shorter than the UK equivalent, making a men's 13 in the US the same size as a men's 12 in the UK. Customary. The traditional system is similar to English sizes, but start counting at 1 rather than 0, so equivalent sizes are 1 greater. The calculation for a male shoe size in the United States is /mbox3 times /mbox24 in the standard, or FIA, scale. Women's sizes are men's sizes +1. /mbox3 times /mbox23. There is also the common scale, where women's sizes are equal to men's sizes +1.5. Children's sizes are equal to men's sizes plus. Children's sizes do not differ by gender even though adults do. /mbox3 times /mbox11 frac. Children's shoe stores in the United States use a sizing scheme which ends at 13, after which the adult range starts at 1. Alternatively, a scale running from K4 to K13, and then 1 to 7 is in use. K4 to K9 are toddler sizes, K10 to 3 are preschool, and 1 to 7 are grade school sizes. Brannock Device. A slightly different sizing method is based on the Brannock Device, a measuring instrument invented by Charles F. Brannock in 1925 and now found in many shoe stores. The formula used by the Brannock Device assumes a foot length less than the length of the last. Thus, men's size 1 is equivalent to a foot's length of. Women's sizes are 1 size up, /mbox3 times /mbox22, /mbox3 times /mbox21. The device also measures the length of the arch, or the distance between the heel and the ball of the foot. For this measurement, the device has a shorter scale at the instep of the foot with an indicator that slides into position. If this scale indicates a larger size, it is taken in place of the foot's length to ensure proper fitting. For children's sizes, additional wiggle room is added to allow for growth. The device also measures the width of the foot and assigns it designations of AAA, AA, A, B, C, D, E, EE, or E. The widths are 3/16 inches apart and differ by shoe length. Some shoe stores and medical professionals use optical 3D surface scanners to precisely measure the length and width of both feet and recommend the appropriate shoe model and size. Europe. In the continental European system, the shoe size is the length of the last, expressed in Paris points, for both sexes and for adults and children alike. Because a Paris point is of a centimeter, the formula is as follows: \math from the last is typically 2 to 2.5 Paris points or longer than the foot, so to determine the size based on actual foot length from heel to toe, one must add 2 points. \math from the European system is used in Austria, Belgium, Denmark, France, Germany, Italy, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, and most other continental European countries. It is also used in Middle Eastern countries, Brazil, which uses the same method, but subtracts 2 from the final result, in effect measuring foot size instead of last size, and, commonly, Hong Kong. The system is sometimes described as stick size, or stickmas size. Mondopoint. The Mondopoint shoe length system was introduced in 1970s by International Standards ISO 2816 to 1973. Fundamental characteristics of a system of shoe sizing to be known as Mondopoint. And ISO 3355 to 1975, shoe sizes system of length grading. ISO 9407 to 1991, shoe sizes, Mondopoint system of sizing and marking, is the current version of the standard. The Mondopoint system is based on average foot length and foot width for which the shoe is suitable, measured in millimeters. The length of the foot is measured as horizontal distance between the perpendiculars in contact with the end of the most prominent toe and the most prominent part of the heel. The width of the foot is measured as horizontal distance between vertical lines in contact with the first and fifth metatarsophalangeal joints. The perimeter of the foot is the length of foot circumference, measured with a flexible tape at the same points as foot width. The origin of the grade is 0. Standard foot lengths are defined with interval steps of 5 mm for casual footwear and steps of 7.5 mm for specialty footwear. The labeling should typically include foot length, followed by an optional foot width. The shoe size of 280-110 indicates a foot length of 280 mm and width of 110 mm. Other customary markings, such as EU, UK and US sizes, can also be used. Because Mondopoint takes the foot width into account, it allows for better fitting than most other systems. A given shoe size shall fit every foot with indicated average measurements, and those differing by no more than a half step of the corresponding interval grid. Mondopoint system is widely used in sports industry to size athletic shoes, ski/skate boots, and point ballet shoes. It was also adopted as the primary shoe sizing system in USSR/Russia, GDR, China, Japan/Taiwan/South Korea, and as an optional system in United Kingdom BS 4981 to 1973, India, Mexico, and European countries. Mondopoint system is also used by NATO and other military services. The standard is maintained by ISO Technical Committee 137, Footwear Sizing Designations and Marking Systems. As of 2018, a new revision is under development. Japan. In Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea, the Mondopoint system is used as defined by National Standard GSS 5037 to 1998 and its counterpart CNS 4800S 1093:2000 and KSM 6681 to 2007. Foot length and girth are taken into account. The foot length is indicated in centimeters. An increment of 5 mm is used. The length is followed by designators for girth, which are specified in an indexed table as foot circumference in millimeters for each given foot length. Foot width is also included as supplemental information. There are different tables for men's, women's, and children's shoes. Not all designators are used for all genders and in all countries. For example, the largest girth for women in Taiwan is E, whereas in Japan, it is F. The foot length and width can also be indicated in millimeters, serrated by a slash or a hyphen. USSR, Russia/CIS. Historically, the USSR used the European system, but the Mondopoint metric system was introduced in 1980s by GOST 24382-80, sizes of sport shoes, and GOST 11373-88, shoe sizes. Foot lengths are aligned to 5 mm and 7.5 mm intervals. Standard metric foot sizes can be converted to the nearest Paris point sizes using approximate conversion tables. Shoes can be marked with both foot length M, as for point ballet shoe sizes, and or last length in European Paris point sizes. Optional foot width designations includes narrow, normal, and wide grades. Infant sizes start at 16 and preschool kids at 23. Schoolchildren sizes span 32 to 40 for girls and 32 to 44 for boys. Adult sizes span 33 to 44 for women and 38 to 48 for men. ISO 19407. ISO/TS 19407 to 2015 Footwear Sizing Conversion of Sizing Systems is a technical specification from International Standards Organization. It contains 3 conversion tables which feature major shoe sizing systems. Each table is based on actual foot length measurement in millimeters. Typical last length ranges are also included. The standard includes conversion tables for Mondopoint using length steps of 5 mm and 7.5 mm, European Paris point system, and UK 1/3 inch system. The standard has also been adopted as Russian GOST R57425-2017. The standard is maintained by ISO/TC 137, which also developed ISO/TS 19408 to 2015 footwear sizing vocabulary and terminology. Currently in development are companion standards ISO/TS 19409, footwear sizing measurement of last dimensions, and ISO/TS 19410, footwear sizing and shoe measurement. Shoe sizing. The adult shoe sizes are calculated from typical last length, which is converted from foot length and by adding an allowance of 2 shoe sizes, shoe size /frac /frac / times 2, UK shoe size /frac 25 /frac times 23, whereas foot length in direct conversion between adult UK, European, and Mondopoint shoe size systems is derived as follows: L /frac times /left /frac times /left. YA shoe size 2, UK shoe size 23. Exact foot lengths may contain repeating decimals, because the formulas include division by 3. In practice, approximate interval steps of 6.67 mm and 8.47 mm are used, then resulting lengths are rounded up to 0.1 mm, and shoe sizes are rounded to either 0.5 size points or closest matching Mondopoint size. Children's sizes are approximations converted from foot length by adding a 8% allowance at the toes and matching the result to the closest practically available last size. Difficulties in shoe size comparison. Differences between various shoe size tables. Makers' tables or other tables found on the web are usually due to the following factors. Further, some tables available on the web simply contain errors. For example, the wiggle room or different 0 point is not taken into account, or tables based on different US systems are simply combined although they are incompatible. Moreover, though the ISO had released a technical specification for converting shoe sizes across various local sizing systems, the organization noted that the problem of converting shoe sizes accurately has yet to be fully resolved. At best, its own published standards for shoe sizes conversions only serve as a good compromise solution for shoe buyers. Please note that the following tables indicate theoretical sizes calculated from the standards and information given above. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?